recovered a fumble at the 45. Play action fake, guns one. It is caught. Touchdown, Spartans. The middle, he's got her hit a scheme. He's into the end zone. Touchdown, Bixby. Rolls to his right to pressure as he throws. It's picked off. Interception. It's over. Bixby is the state champion in 6A Division II in Oklahoma.
Welcome into the Bixby Spartan Football Show, sponsored by Midwest Sporting Goods. And what a week for the Spartans. Homecoming, quite a success. Lauren Montgomery joins us, as always, here on the show. And Lauren, well, you take a huge win out of homecoming week, so double bonus there for you.
Certainly. Homecoming week is always kind of a nightmare from a coach's perspective, and so all week long we talked about the most important part of the week was not the frat or farm day or wear your shirt backwards day or the homecoming dance. The most important thing was the game on Friday night, and we were kind of sarcastic about it, but our kids understood that they need to be focused and have a great week of practice, and we had a job to do. And so I was proud of the way our guys came out and took care of business.
Yeah, really important week. Obviously, the opponent, not the usual homecoming opponent either.
No, and I'm not exactly sure how that worked out. It wasn't, it wasn't your normal homecoming opponent, and it was, in fact, the returning state champion, that Booker T, that knocked us off last year. And so we knew our guys were going to have to be ready because they had Division I talent littered all over that field. All
right, Spartans are going to get the victory. We'll have highlights as we come back in just a minute. But practice, obviously important every week, but especially this week, we got our practice players of the week to talk about.
Certainly, you're going to notice Talon Javersack all over the highlights from the nose guard position, and consequently, the last couple weeks in practice, he's been running the scout team nose guard for our defense, our scout team defense, and it's been making him better, and it's been making our offensive line better. So he's one of our practice players of the week. And then also Jackson Rogers, young sophomore that's doing a really good job at wide receiver, defensive back, and he'd probably be embarrassed if I said something about him being the son of Coach Mike Rogers. But a lot of times there's something about those coaches' kids that are around the program all the time and kind of understand the expectation level, and so he's got a good football IQ, and he's coming along giving us a great look in practice as well.
All right, and our practice players of the week, sponsored by Chick-fil-A. All right, some highlights to get to. We'll have first half highlights, the Spartans and the Hornets, when we come back.
The Bixby Football Coaches Show is brought to you by Chick-fil-A. Eat more chicken. Primo Mitsubishi, where the value always exceeds price. Midwest Sporting Goods. Put some Midwest best on you. Roush Coleman Homes. Improving quality of life, one home at a time. Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers. One love for the game. Now in orthodontics. Live life smiling. Hot Coffee Design. Find us at hotcoffeedesign.com. Advanced Plastics. Building partnerships through willingness, versatility, and knowledge. Car Country by Nelson, where you'll be treated like a superstar. Billings Construction Group. Our service is unequal. Western Sun Federal Credit Union. TTCU, the credit union. Allstate Insurance. You're in good hands with Patrick Alford. Matthews Ford. Fleming Construction. Tulsa Bone and Joint. Roofscapes. And by Baker Pools.
Well, it's been a busy day of college football. Let's get caught up on the action. First up, Alabama. This play right here shows what eating chicken will do for you. Lots of broken tackles here. It's the chicken.
No idea what you're talking about.
Joey Galloway is here with chicken predictions.
My what?
Touchdown chicken.
Okay, are we filming right now?
Chicken, 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 chicken.
What is going on?
I don't know. Oh, that was weird.
New management.
Start your game day with the new Hash Brown Scramble Bowl from Chick-fil-A.
I've been a proud patient of Dr. Ryan Nallens for the past 5 years with my kids. He really only treats when it's time and he's ready. We came back later and he put braces on my son, who just got them off last week. His teeth look amazing.
Now in orthodontics, we're different. I think the first thing you notice when you walk in the door is going to be an energy and enthusiasm and of a team that really loves what we do, and we like to have fun every day.
What's really been great about Mazda through the years is that they're not afraid to take risks. They will build a car that is more fun to drive. They'll build a car that has better styling. They're partially artists and they're partially race car drivers. We're excited to sell a new Mazda because it simply means that we know that that client got a really great vehicle.
Midwest Sporting Goods Bixby Spartan Football Coaches Show. And the Spartans with a homecoming game against the Booker T Washington Hornets. We're about to get into highlights. Lauren, Booker T with a lot of D1 caliber kids. So you game breakers all over the place. And you always had those anticipated possible big plays that just never came. You guys really had it figured out.
Yeah, you know, our defensive staff, our defensive players just did a really good job of being able to contain such an explosive offense. You know, when you talk about nearly every wide receiver being a Division I guy, the tailback being a Division I guy, you know, I mean, there are a lot of challenges. And like you said, you hold your breath every time, you know, one of those playmakers gets the ball. And so aside from the one trick play, you know, our defense really kept everything at bay.
Yes, and on special teams, you're always going to kind of hold your breath there too.
Yeah, no, the two guys they put deep on kickoff return and the guys they put on punt return, you got to know where they're at. And, you know, hats off to Coach Gray and then Reese Vernon, our kicker. We did a really nice job of keeping the ball out of some of those guys' hands with some space.
Spartans, Hornets, they're at Spartan Stadium at Lee Snyder Field. Let's get into our first half highlights.
As mentioned, homecoming, it was so exciting to see great homecoming court. Lexi Finley and Oakley Frazier, what a special night for them. Our homecoming queen and king did a really good job. And we get out going here, and Booker T has the ball first. You'll see Clayton Barber on a great play right there. Ryan Kerr with great defense slaps it down. They had a little trouble getting their snaps there early on, and Talon Javersak's right there to introduce himself to the quarterback. And Talon, one of our practice players of the week, had a great week. And we caught Brendan Presley in man coverage against a freshman corner. He's a very good corner, Division I offers, but Brendan does his thing and gets open and outruns him to get our first points of the evening right there. And then once again, you'll see that defense up inside. Hayden Haynes, Talon Javersak, Jake Savage, all senior interior defensive linemen doing a really nice job. Hayden Haynes and Noah West right there doing a really good job from the right side of the line. And then we hand the counter play off right here. Braden Roller. Braden having a good night, running in between the tackles, getting some creases right there. And then we run the hitch pattern right there to Cade Cavender. Great ball. Thought young Mason Williams had a really good night. And then right there from the Wildcat, Brendan Presley picking up a first down. And then we hand the ball here to Braden Roller, and Braden bounces it for a nice little run. That Booker T defense closes really quickly. Some of those holes look great, and then, you know, we noticed it'd only be a 4- and 5-yard gain because those holes do close fast. Cade Cavender, pound for pound, our strongest guy in the weight room right there, you know, and I heard our kids coming over the sideline saying, man, that was a weight room play, coach. There were a whole bunch of those the other night, and that's pretty exciting. Right there, a Division I receiver catching the ball and us just rallying around, putting a lot of Spartan hats on them. And then the screen play right there, Kerr doing a good job snuffing that thing out before he could ever get started. And we run the counter play right here. Freshman Braylon Presley behind Ethan Hall. That's a good combination. Our offensive line appears to be getting better. And right there under a little pressure, Mason Williams does a really nice job of scrambling and hits Cade Cavender right there on another big weight room play for a big first down conversion or third down conversion. And then we rip the counter play, and that's one of those plays that looked to be blocked up perfect, but a shoestring tackle, one of their linebackers comes off of the block. And so when you're playing a really good athletic team, those guys don't stay blocked for very long, so 4- and 5-yard runs, we like them. On the quarterback run right there, you'll see Cade Cavender coming up from his safety position, making a great tackle, and then we got everything bottled up inside. And you'll see Bear Daniel, you'll see Jordan Reagan from his corner position, making a couple really good plays. Drop back to pass right there, and there's big number 47, Ethan Hall, in on the tackle. Ethan having a couple sacks, and I think that's him right there on a block punt. just a big night for the Urban Cowboy, and then getting this good field position again right there. Braylon Presley on the inside run right there, and Booker T's nose guard, number 50, a 3-year starter, doing a nice job making a one-on-one tackle right there. And Booker T getting some pressure, and Mason just showing his elusiveness. Like I said, all night he was under a lot of pressure and did a good job of keeping his eyes downfield and scrambling. You'll notice Noah West, senior, moved him from tight end to right tackle to get us a little bit more depth on the offensive line. Just a fine example of being selfless. And then Ethan Hall, and big conversion right there, that extra effort, picked up the first down because we didn't have it at first glance. Run the power read right here between Cade Cavender and Brennan Presley up inside, and then watch this play on this punt. You know, our punt team, we look to change the game, and right there, Braylon Presley, Trevin Holt, both make just crazy athletic plays to pin that thing down on the 1-yard line. And then you get a offense trying to do some things like this, and we feel like it works in our favor. They try to throw the tunnel screen out of the end zone. You got Barber and Ethan Hall, and then all those guys in it. And once again, they're trying to get the ball to their playmakers. And we're rallying, going to force a punt out of their end zone. And they quarterback sneak it, able to get out and get the first down. But look at Brody Sarton in there just being violent, trying to rip that ball out. That's kind of the MO of our defense. We're going to gang tackle and then try to create turnovers. And we created quite a few takeaways. And that takes us into halftime, 7-0 mark, and a good first half. Just super thrilled with the way our defense is playing.
All right, so a one-score game between the Spartans and the Hornets. We'll have second half highlights when we come back.
Your home from the very start is on a very, very tight schedule. And what that ensures is that something's being done on your home every day. Quality is what our reputation is based on. It's the quality that people expect to get when they buy a home. It's the quality they expect to get when they're making the largest purchase of their life.
Box combo, please.
At Raising Cane's, we're all about quality. We mix cane sauce in our restaurants every day. And our chicken is hand battered and cooked to order. Our Texas toast is grilled with just the right amount of butter and garlic. And our lemonade is always freshly squeezed.
Love the window.
And why do we do all this? Because it makes a difference. Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers, one love.
My name is Abigail Bailey. I was at my yearly checkup when I was 12, and we went and got x-rays, and she diagnosed me with scoliosis and that we needed surgery as soon as possible.
Tulsa Bone and Joint was very compassionate. They took their time with us. They answered questions. He was very encouraging.
Dr. Clark helped me see that there is life after spinal fusion. Just because your spine is fused doesn't mean that you can't do what you love to do.
Welcome back to the show, and the Spartans and the Hornets at halftime. It's a one-score game and a furious first half. Potential to have some big plays. Their guys close the gaps quickly, don't they?
Oh man, just so much talent over there defensively, and we talk about all the Division I players on both sides of the ball, playmakers, but you really see it on defense. As I mentioned to you in the break, we can have a play blocked up perfectly, and then all of a sudden it's that 5-yard gain because those guys are able to get off blocks and rally, and so definitely a defensive slugfest in the first half.
All right, second half highlights as the Spartans and the Hornets with Bixby up 7-0.
We get the ball here to open up the second half, and so looking to put something together. It felt like we had a few looks that we liked going into the second half, needed to execute, and coming out on this drive, I think we had a couple of procedure errors that we're going to have to get cleaned up here down the stretch, and we will. Our offensive staff does a tremendous job there, and we hit the slant pattern right there to Cade Cavender, good throw and good catch, but end up having to punt the thing away. And then right here, we knocked the first quarterback out, and so they're going to go ahead with number 2 there and put the freshman in. You'll see Jake Savage, Ethan Hall in on a big hit right here. And then they're running the zone back up in there with their Division I running back. You'll see Jordan Reagan in on a big tackle, and then they hit us with a big play and ended up scoring and tying the game up 7-7. We have a busted play here ourselves, but Brennan Presley doing a nice job of making something out of nothing. They knocked their quarterback out for a play, hit him in the rib cage pretty good, and we run the old wildcat, and then it throws it down the field to Cade Cavender. Good call by Coach Snyder, our offensive coordinator on that. it was a perfect play. We practice it every day. It's the right play at the right time, and then we come back and get Ethan Hall in one-on-one coverage on a linebacker, just like Coach Snyder had gone up, and it ended up being a really good look for us. Hit it a couple of times throughout the night. That defense comes out and he's playing violent. Ethan Hall in on the tackle right there, and then you're seeing a whole bunch of pressure right there. Noah West, we knocked the ball loose, end up jumping on it, and get favorable field position. So you'll see our offense right here. We come out, and then we throw the back shoulder fade right there to Cade Cavender, and it doesn't matter how many stars are next to your name. That's a tough route to defend. And Cade did a nice job running that. You'll see Isaiah Lewis and Bixby Spartans in there, young freshman Kai Roller in, getting in on the action. And then right there, I thought Cade had it, but he didn't. And so Brennan made a miraculous catch right there and recovery with the interception. Thought he was going to get that thing in the end zone for a pick six. Brennan's just a really good football player, whatever we ask him to do there. Then offense wasn't able to punch it in, and so defense comes back out right here, and you'll see him playing tough and rallying. Got a lot of hats around the ball, and Braden Presley right there in behind Carter McCamus. Ethan Hall, as violently and fast as he plays on defense, he does equally so on offense. And so that's so exciting to see. Reese Vernon with good punts all night. This one almost has some side spin on it, and you'll notice Braden Presley and Trevin Holt letting that thing roll down to the 1-inch line, down in it, giving it to the official. And, we get a lot of guys on our punt team that are really taking pride in changing the field position, and that's such a big play. And then offense comes out right here, and we get one-on-one coverage with Brandon Presley, and kudos to Mason Williams for recognizing that really quick and just getting the ball in. And then we hit the dive right here to Brandon Presley in behind the wrap block of Ethan Hall, just a good-looking football play, get him pinned in the end zone. Ethan Hall just, pressuring the quarterback hit. It ended up not being a sack, but knocked the ball away. They run the stretch play, and what a great open field tackle by Clayton Barber. I noticed that from our sidelines, just how fast he looked, how athletic he looked, making a tackle in space. There's Ethan Hall in on another sack. I think Coach only gave him credit for a half sack, but man, what a good game. And that's going to take us into our stats, a final score of 21-7, and that puts us in first place in our district, right where we want to be. We had 14 first downs to Booker T's 6. Total offense, 237. They had 111 on offense with 70 coming on one play. We had 175 passing to their 114. Rushing, we had 62 to their -2. That's a number we look to pick up. 62 is not what our offensive line wants. We're looking to get 200 yards rushing in a game. Penalties, we had 5 for 25 to their 6 for 45, and another week with a goose egg and a turnover margin. That's exactly what we want. Booker T had 2, we had 0. So that's excellent. Mason Williams was 11 for 17 passing for 175 and 3 touchdowns. On the ground, Braden Presley, our leading rusher, had 13 carries for 36 yards. Braden Roller, 11 carries for 27 yards. Brandon Presley had 2 rushes for 25 yards. Through the air, Cade Cavender had a 100-yard night, 6 receptions for 100 yards. Brandon Presley, 3 receptions for 51 yards. Ethan Hall, 2 for 25. The defensive side of the ball, what a great night. A lot of guys in with great tackles. Bixby Spartans, our leading tackler, with 12 tackles. Ethan Hall only had 7, but 4 of them were TFLs. He had a half sack. Clayton Barber from the safety position, 10 tackles, 1 tackle for loss. Ryan Carter, our player of the week, had 6 tackles. So a lot of good stats on the evening. Proud of our guys for coming out, taking care of business, and then most importantly, doing an excellent job, Mark, singing the fight song at the end. Last week at Sapulpa, without the band being there, we had some guys that were kind of lost when we sang the fight song, and I heard a lot of humming and everything like that. So we had to call in Miss Coleman, our choir teacher, who's been here for years. Had the team dinner on Thursday night, and she got our guys squared away on the old fight song. So we were dialed in after the game.
Yeah, you got to up your game in all areas, every facet.
Yes.
All right, the stats, by the way, are presented by Primo Mitsubishi. So the Spartans take out the Hornets and set themselves up for the remainder of this district play. Speaking of that, upcoming now, you've got Ponca City at venerable old Sullen Stadium. the stadium that has the unique old architecture, but they've kind of given it a little bit of a facelift, and they've given the team a facelift, it looks like.
Certainly, Coach Harmon has those guys playing real competitively, as well as Solon Stadium. They put a facelift on that. They got a new press box, new weight room, and we always like going up there. You got the WPA look, and just kind of a great atmosphere to play a high school football game in.
Yeah, a little bit more sound team this year.
Yes. It'll prove to be a good one. We're going to have to be ready to play and take the next step.
All right, we'll talk more about that coming up, and we'll have our Nowlin Player of the Week and Nowlin Orthodontics Player of the Week when we come back on the show.
Well, it's been a busy day of college football. Let's get caught up on the action. First up, Alabama. This play right here shows what eating chicken will do for you. Lots of broken tackles here. It's the chicken.
No idea what you're talking about.
Joey Galloway is here with chicken predictions.
My what?
Touchdown chicken.
Okay, are we filming right now?
Chicken.
What is going on?
I don't know. Oh, that was weird.
New management.
Start your game day with the new Hash Brown Scramble Bowl from Chick-fil-A.
My dad's always saying a little extra effort now will really pay off later. Here's how you can put in just a little extra effort and help out our schools in a big way. Just switch your checking account to TTCU. It's easy. You get $150 just for switching. And every time you use your school pride card, TTCU donates to our schools. So far, over $1 million. They're the only ones doing that. So make the switch to TTCU and be the person who's making a difference for our schools.
I can't stop.
It's time for our Nowlin Orthodontics Player of the Week, and it's senior Ryan Kerr, linebacker and tight end. Ryan, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
All right, bud, let's talk about your season so far. Just tell me about how things have played out for you.
I mean, the last couple games, you've seen our defense come together. I mean, my job's easy when I have a D-line up there eating like they were last Friday. I mean, you see talent over there demanding double and triple teams, leaving me wide open. Giving props to them for sure.
All right, so you had 6 tackles this last game. You're playing outstanding on that side of the ball, and that defense really allows you linebackers to make a lot of plays.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And, I mean, like I said earlier, I mean, those D linemen, I mean, they were eating. I mean, they had a really good game, and, I mean, there's a couple times where I came up and made an ISO block for the guard just to let the D line work because I knew they were going to win that one-on-one block. So.
You guys coming together, offense starting to click a little bit. You play on that side of the ball as well. How do you see the offense shaping up this year?
I mean, we got some electrifying dudes on our offense for sure. I mean, you got Brennan Cade, Braylon, Braden. I mean, there's just numerous dudes that can just make plays, like plays after plays. I mean, it's looking pretty solid right now.
All right, well, tell me about, you've played a lot of football, obviously all the way up from first grade on here in Bixby, and just overall, just kind of give us an idea what your experience has been like all the years of playing football, and you still have quite a bit left.
Well, I mean, when I was younger, football wasn't really my favorite. I mean, as I started to mature, started loving football even more and more, and then, I mean, it did help once I got to high school that we started winning, and that's when I started liking football the most.
Yeah, and those wins have been piling up, and you got a lot of football to play this year. Thanks for coming on the show, Ryan.
Thank you for having me.
All right, great season so far for Ryan Kerr, senior linebacker and tight end. That's our Nowlin Orthodontics Player of the Week. We'll talk about the youth team of the week as Midwest Sporting Goods will have that on the show when we come back.
Your home from the very start is on a very, very tight schedule. And what that ensures is that something's being done on your home every day. Quality is what our reputation is based on. It's the quality that people expect to get when they buy a home. It's the quality they expect to get when they're making the largest purchase of their life.
At Raising Cane's, we're all about quality. We mix cane sauce in our restaurants every day. And our chicken is hand battered and cooked to order. Our Texas toast is grilled with just the right amount of butter and garlic. And our lemonade is always freshly squeezed.
Loving the window.
And why do we do all this? Because it makes a difference. Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers, one love.
It's time for our Midwest Sporting Goods Youth Team of the Week, and we head to third grade blue, and the head coach is Clint Dishman. Clint, good to have you on the show.
Glad to be here.
All right, well, let's talk about your season so far. How are things going?
We're having a good season. We've got some great parents, great players, and great assistant coaches. So I'm real fortunate for the team that we have. It has been a little difficult in terms of the wins and losses, but our team is getting better each week. We've got a real focus on the fundamentals, and I think they're getting better at blocking and tackling each week.
All right, well, let's talk about offensively as we'll take a look at some highlights and just kind of explain what you guys have on offense.
Yeah, we run a shotgun split offense and run to the right, run to the left, sweep right, sweep left, and right up the middle. It's somewhat basic in terms of what we're doing, but the real key to success in youth football is getting to the outside, and we try to do that.
All right, let's talk about your defense just a little bit.
Yeah, we run a five-man front, 2 linebackers, 2 safeties, and got some real good penetration on the front defensive line, and linebackers that are learning the game and really shooting the gaps and doing a good job.
All right, so it's all about the development, third grade, and you've coached one of the teams all the way through INFC with your older son. And what do you think INFC football in Bixby does for developing kids?
Oh, I think it's outstanding. I think Coach Montgomery has put together a great high school football program, and the Bixby Youth program feeds into that. It's all about numbers and getting the people out there playing the game, and not just playing it in third grade or fourth grade, but all the way through the program. Getting better each year, and really learning the basics of football as well as the life lessons that it produces. So I think it's been very beneficial for my first son going through the program, learning, and I think it's also good for all the kids that start out in Bixby Youth football.
Outstanding. Well, thanks for coming on the show. That does it, and that's our Midwest Sporting Goods Youth Team of the Week, and that does it for the show. On the road at Ponca City, Spartans this week at Sullivan Stadium, 7 o'clock kick. We'll see you next time.
The Bixby Football Coaches Show is brought to you by Chick-fil-A. Eat more chicken. Primo Mitsubishi, where the value always exceeds price. Midwest Sporting Goods. Put some Midwest best on you. Roush Coleman Homes. Improving quality of life, one home at a time. Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers. One love for the game. Now in Orthodontics. Live life smiling. Hot Coffee Design. Find us at hotcoffeedesign.com. Advanced Plastics. Building partnerships through willingness, versatility, and knowledge. Car Country by Nelson, where you'll be treated like a superstar. Billings Construction Group. Our service is unequal. Western Sun Federal Credit Union. TTCU, the credit union. Allstate Insurance. You're in good hands with Patrick Alford. Matthews Ford. Fleming Construction. Tulsa Bone and Joint. Roofscapes. And by Baker Pools.